Hello, welcome to the Parenting Versus Podcast. It's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Event special.
I guess so.
Whatever.
I don't know. I mean, we have the day off, so that's good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a day.
I think that came off as really insensitive, actually. No, we appreciate everything that Martin Luther King Jr. did, and it's important to recognize that, and I'm glad that he has a day to celebrate that, because it's definitely a huge, huge step for mankind.
Better than President's Day.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I feel more meaning for this holiday than like President's Day.
Yeah,
Like
especially...
presidents are important, sure, but I don't know.
Well, especially given the political climate right now, I think President's Day is kind of up in the air right now.
Are there any silly holidays that we, like, don't know why we celebrate, I guess? I guess Halloween is more, like, fun.
Yeah. National Left-Handedness Day is August 13th.
But, like, actually recognized days. In Canada, they have Boxer Day.
Boxing Day?
Boxing Day.
And so
I guess it's the day after Christmas where they put stuff in boxes,
UK,
right?
too.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
I feel like we should, though. I feel like that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Could be a rally for people to recycle or something.
Hey, here's a holiday. Clean up your crap.
Yeah. Recycle your tree.
I need a refill real fast. So you go ahead. I'm sorry. Hey.
What?
Take it easy.
I will not. So, nothing really new, I guess. Lindsay and I have kind of a cold, sort of, so that's why we sound weirder than normal. I honestly don't know what else to talk about. Lindsay just dished me.
Season 2 of Fargo.
Yeah, we finished Fargo, which is cool. Those are like milestone events in our day and age, right? Like you finish a series. Well, we're not done with the series. I guess there's another season. But they're like milestone events, like, oh, and Nami's here, so we have to take a pause anyway.
We gotta take a parenting pause. My mom's dropping off our 5-year-old, so we'll be right back.
Be right back. 2 minutes in. Welcome back. We had to take a quick parenting pause, but what were we talking about?
We finished Fargo.
Oh, yeah. Modern day holiday events are when you finish a series, I guess. Even though we're not done with Fargo.
I wouldn't say it's like a...
You feel accomplished.
I guess for sitting on your ass and like watching a show.
Pretty
for
much.
Committing to something that long.
That's what people do. They watch series of stuff.
Series.
Series.
They watch those series.
The series of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought, okay, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but I want to know your thoughts on season 1 of Fargo versus season 2, because I have some thoughts.
So, the first season we got through pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is pretty boring, but anyway, season 2.
Disclaimer: if you think this is boring, you can turn it off.
Yeah, kids, future kids of ours. This is an awful episode.
It's fine.
But like, for the past 2-3 months, every time I would suggest let's watch Fargo, you would be like, no, I don't want to watch Fargo. It's dumb. It's boring.
I never said it was dumb.
You never wanted to watch it for the past like 3 months, and then all of a sudden I just put it on and it was interesting.
No, I think it goes in waves. I have to be in the right mindset, in the right mood to like really commit to something that heavy, because it is a heavy plot line and a heavy storyline, and
there's a lot to it.
I just had to get through the holidays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that this is one of the series that I could probably watch again to pick up more on it, because there's a lot of like underlying philosophy and you know, like there's like the myth of Sisyphus and how does that relate to everything, and and there's like they go pretty deep into philosophy. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like at the end when, okay, spoiler alert. Well, like right away, the cops in season 2, the cop's wife has cancer, right, and she's dying, and she's talking to it's like I don't know, like a babysitter or like a nanny or something.
Yeah.
And she's talking to her, and the nanny quotes some French philosopher, basically saying like, "What's the purpose of life if you're dead," or something along those lines.
She said it was like a quote about if you know the time of your death, then it ceases the validity of life.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah. And then the wife's response was, she said, "I think that's total garbage," basically, paraphrasing. And that we're all given our time on this earth to do a job, and like there's purpose behind it.
And the time you get is the time you get.
Right. I don't know. It's pretty interesting.
But then did you notice, and this is a spoiler, so okay, I'm going to spoil it for you now. There was a spot in season 2 where you thought the wife was dead or going to die very soon. Like they kind of hinted around it. But even at the end of the very last episode, they didn't tell you how or when she died. And I think that kind of goes along with that quote that girl was talking about. It was kind of like a subtle nod to that. So it was interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a heavy series, but if you like things like Breaking Bad, or you like series that they may move slow at times, but they get pretty deep, then Fargo is the series for you. I really enjoyed it, and I like the character development, and then the way it's shot is incredible. I think it's just done really well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to season 3.
Are the Coen brothers involved in that?
I'm not sure.
Because the original Fargo is Coen brothers, and I think that they produced it, or I don't know if they directed it, or if there were different directors, or I don't know.
I just think it's done really well.
Yeah.
I really like the character development. Like, for me, a show is all about the characters. Like, there are some shows where they have the same characters in the shows for, like, seasons and seasons, and I feel like they just don't take the time to make me care about those people. Like,
that's when you give up on a series, I guess.
Right. Well, they don't get that deep into who the people actually are, and so I'm just kind of like, I could care less if this person dies. So, like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
Fargo definitely spends the time on character development, which I like.
Now we're not really into anything, are we?
I don't think so. No, we finished Black Mirror.
We spend a lot of time watching TV.
Well, we have 3 kids.
To our, intentions for this year is maybe watch less TV.
Maybe. Or maybe make it count when we actually watch something.
It's not going to happen.
Stupid.
We'll probably watch more TV. That's just the way that, culture is going and technology is going. Like, we have more technology in our house this year than there was last year.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know if it's improving our lives or what, but we got a virtual reality headset. The Daydream VR, which you've got to mess around a little bit. But I was thinking about that. The other day, yesterday, when I put it on. So there's you can download a camera. It's called the Cardboard camera, where you basically just let the camera record in a 360 sort of angle, like 360 view. Like you spin around and it records everything around you. And then you pop your phone into your VR set, and not only does it record the visual of what's around you, but also records the audio in stereo. So when I downloaded it, I was at work, and I was just messing around with it, and I recorded like where I was sitting at my desk and my computer, and there was the classroom around me and everything. And I popped it in the headset yesterday when I was here at home, and I was transported to my school. And you can hear the sounds of my school, like you could hear the music I was listening to that day. So it combines 2 senses, and it was really crazy to me because I was like, I'm at work right now.
I think that could be really beneficial in a therapeutic sense for people, like for elderly people or people that are invalids and can't get out, or people that have a hard time going places. Like, that would be so cool to be able to give them that gift.
What I was thinking too. Or if you have there's terrible situations where you might lose somebody, and you could do that where you're like with somebody or something, and like, I don't know. And
you have like a memory stuck in time, but it's like a real life memory.
It's like a photograph, but like the next level. Like it was really crazy to me.
That's some Harry Potter shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And also I watched a YouTube video. Like there's a bunch of YouTube VR videos you can watch, and there was one of these two guys, and they've traveled around, and they're kind of funny. But they were in Machu Picchu, and it was really cool because you could just
I think I saw that.
see like two kind of funny dudes, like
Yeah.
two bearded guys.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it was really cool. Like they were just talking about the history, and you could just see it all around you.
You know what else it might be good for, and I don't know, like I'm not seasoned in the knowledge of like the autism spectrum, but I do know that sensory things with kids that have autism are really huge. And so like again, like thinking about that in a therapeutic level, like let's say they're at school and they need to be able to calm down, or they need to be in a place where it's mellow. So you're taking the stimuli that's around you and you're transferring it to something else that's completely calm.
Yeah, I guess that could work. Because automatically when I think of the VR headset, I think of more sensory. But if you're like transported to like, I don't know, a park and it's really quiet.
Yeah, well, like let's just, maybe you're in the woods and you're just hearing the birds chirp, or you know what I mean? You
Right.
can, or the beach. Maybe you're at the beach and you're hearing the ocean waves. I think that could be beneficial. I don't know. It's an interesting concept, and I think it'll be cool to see where we go with that.
Right.
I just hope that it will be abused, because technology is always abused.
How would it be abused?
Porn. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, there's probably developers already up on that.
Yeah, well, people are going to go where the money is and where the general interest is, and let's be honest, like,
But, I mean,
the
there's-
internet is always used for porn, like in some way, shape, thing. I mean,
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I hope that it does things for the good that are beneficial, and that outweighs the negative. I don't want it to make society dumber.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a really cool little gadget. But it also takes a little bit more work to put the headset on versus just popping up your phone, and you know what I mean. Even though it's more of an experience. You're more immersed in an experience, but you kind of have to work a little bit to get that. I don't know. It was pretty neat, and we got it for free, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
From the
that's
promotion for our
pretty
Google
neat.
Pixel 2 XLs. But what was the other thing we got? The Google Home. I'm excited to see what that.
I didn't even know we got that. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah, we got both of them for free. So the Google Home is it's a voice assistant, kind of like Alexa, and I guess Alexa's huge now. The current CES, the CES is Consumer Electronic, something in Las Vegas. It's like a conference where everybody. Okay, text pause. Everything all right?
Yeah, just a work text.
Okay.
I can address it later.
It's a conference where everybody shows off all their tech, and I guess a lot of the new tech had Alexa built into it. So I don't know. The voice assistance is, it's a reality. It's today.
Yeah, it's just funny. I was actually thinking about like when I was probably 12 or something like that. I think technology is interesting, and I like science and things. I used to go to OMSI, which is the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, and they had like this whole area that was like robotics and like high tech. I'm putting that in air quotes because 1996. And I used to think about like the future, and I think a lot of times we think about like flying cars, and stuff like that, and we're like, well, how come we don't have flying cars yet? Because I think about that. I would like a flying car like tomorrow, yesterday.
one of my favorite YouTubers, his name is Marques Brownlee. He has a YouTube channel called MKBHD. He tweeted about that. He's like, I'm at CES, and 90s kids were wondering, like, in the year 2018, we're for sure gonna have flying cars, but this is what we have, and it was like a self-playing ping pong table.
I saw that.
It's like a robotic arm that can sense where the ping pong is and will play with you no matter what. Like, it was just crazy.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, we have all this technology, and we're making automatic ping pong tables. Like,
Yeah.
where's my flying car, damn it?
I'm not sure if I would trust a flying car.
Well, you trust a train to take you where you go, and you fly in an airplane, and that's human error.
I would trust autonomous driving for sure.
Well, then you should trust a flying car.
Yeah.
But anyway, no. So I just remember thinking, like, trying to transport myself back to like 12-year-old Lindsay. Like, what about now and technology would have been completely mind-blowing to me back then? Like, I think because my first job was working at a video store, like a video rental store.
Yeah.
Like, just even seeing like the evolution of Netflix is like crazy to me.
Right.
Because I used to literally work at a physical place where you would come and get a movie and drop it off when you're done. And like, that is a non-existent thing now. Like, it doesn't exist.
I follow somebody on Twitter and they tweeted, I think now's about a good time to turn back my Blockbuster videotape or something. I was like, yeah.
Well,
It might be a good
but
time.
it's like, do you remember how huge that like whole culture was around like video stores? Like,
Yeah.
you'd go, you'd get some snacks
It was
there.
an experience. Yeah, they had popcorn for sale and candy. It was like a movie theater.
Right, but you'd go and sometimes the movie you wanted wouldn't be there, so you had to pick something else because it was so popular it wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, well, when is this one going to come back? Because I really want to see it. And now it's like, that's not even a thing. We used to have a drive-through video drop-off because we were super, super, super modern at Captain Video in
So
Lake
did we.
Grove, Oregon.
Yeah, so did we.
But it's just crazy. And then the cool thing was, like, we were like the most on edge video store in Lake Oswego, so we had DVDs and we sold DVD players. Watch out.
So, the video, and this is like one
Laserdiscs.
of my favorite memories of being a kid. In Moriarty, we had a video store called the Dead Serious. It's called Dead Serious Video, and they were Deadheads. They were Grateful Dead like fanatics. So it was part video shop and part like Grateful Dead merchandise shop. But they had all their videos, and by the way, they had the naughty room in the back. I remember there was curtains back
Naughty
there.
room.
There was curtains in the back, and I always wanted to take a peek in there.
Don't
But I
worry, I
never
think
did.
my video store had a naughty room too.
Yeah. All right, I want to talk about this a
Oh.
little bit more, but
Uh-oh. What's the matter? She's kind of like fake crying. Are you being kind of dramatic right now? Come here.
yeah.
Are those boys picking on you?
Okay, so should I take her back? Can you
Oh,
say hi,
she's okay.
Juliet? Hi to your future self.
Say hi.
Say hi. She's not gonna do it.
She's
All right,
wondering.
should we do a pause?
I think our kids are probably gonna laugh at us someday, and they're like, "You recorded a podcast."
I know.
That's like.
Yeah, we're
yeah.
pausing.
Okay, pause.
Okay, we're back. We had a parenting pause that was pretty long. I don't know what was going on there, but we were talking about video stores and stuff and memories and all that good stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to just kind of finish that thought if I can. So is that okay?
Go for it.
So one of my favorite memories being a kid was going to Dead Serious Video Store. And if we were lucky, like on a Friday night, on a Friday night, my parents would rent us a Sega Genesis or a Super Nintendo and a couple games. And my friends would come over and we would spend the night. They would spend the night at my house, and we would just play video games all night. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was probably like 9, 10, whatever.
Isn't it weird to think you could rent entire gaming systems?
You could, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like $10 or something, and rent an entire gaming system, and
But how much money was that in the 90s? Like,
it just seemed like it wasn't that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was like $5. Who knows? I didn't actually pay for it, so
what's the inflation on something like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny that people used to pay for that, and now those gaming systems are like obsolete, or they're like in Savers and thrift
Yeah.
stores. Like,
No, they're obsolete, but they're still in high demand.
are they?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can find a Super Nintendo like a good condition on Amazon. Drop $100 on it or whatever. Like people still want those. Yeah.
Interesting. They're laughing. Don't worry.
Okay.
They are.
Well,
Our 2-year-old is coming in here with a dinosaur hat on, in his robot pajamas,
yeah.
holding a looks like a scarf, pulling our 1-year-old as she holds on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
Just another day at the Dominguez house, I guess, huh?
Another day at the Dominguez house.
Yeah. Our 5-year-old and his little buddy went on an art spree the other night and drew
Who's
pictures
this little buddy? Oh, yeah.
all over our walls.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to read, like, things you never think you're going to have to figure out. You probably will have to figure out as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Googling, like, how do I get marker off of walls without taking the paint off? And apparently hairspray does that. So pro tip, you can try using hairspray.
If you have hairspray lying around.
Well, your mom works at a salon, so I think it's a viable option.
I don't think they use hairspray anymore.
I have hairspray your mom gave me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't use it that often. That's why I still have it. It's probably like a year old, but
I would venture to guess like olive oil.
maybe.
Like a dab of olive oil would take it off.
Yeah. I don't know.
I found out how to take lipstick off of Riley's face because he got into your lipstick. And it was olive oil because they're both oils and oil
begets oil.
Oil begets oil. So yeah, craziness.
Yeah, I know. It's funny, the things, like I said, the things you learn as a parent, and you're like, or the things you never thought you'd have to know. It's like useless information, but at the same time, you know, being a mom or a dad, you're like, this is not so useless when my kid is drawing on walls.
Mm-hmm. You also think more about like emergency situations. Like if my mom is watching the kids, I always am thinking about like scenarios where my mom might need to call 911. So I always make sure my mom's phone is charged. Mm-hmm. And then we have an extra cell phone, and I want to tell my mom how to use that cell phone because cell phones without SIM cards, they would still be able to connect to 911.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to let her know, like, if your cell phone dies, if you need to call 911, here's the cell phone.
So speaking of emergency scenarios, that nuclear, oh my gosh, what's
The missile threat?
Yes. Why did I say
In
that?
Hawaii?
Yeah, that happened the other day. Like that, I can't even imagine like the panic that parents must have felt that were separated from their kids, people that were separated from their families. You know, I just can't even, like, you would have to really rethink like some priorities and like in a split second, like, what are you going to do to protect your family? Mm-hmm. That's terrifying.
I wonder if church attendance is going to spike on Sunday.
I have no idea, but it's just, I don't know. We were reading somebody's account.
The Twitter one?
Yeah, and it was just crazy. Like, he said, you know, he was in like a convention center with a bunch of people for work. Mm-hmm. And everybody's phone went off at the same time, and people started panicking and running.
They just like booked it.
It was like mayhem. And he couldn't find his wife, and they were trying to force like tons of people onto elevators to get where they needed to go, and like it was just like total chaos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what would you do in that situation? Mm-hmm. Like, you better have a plan that you thought about beforehand.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was reading about how the mistake happened, and it's an honest mistake, I guess. Like, one of them...
That guy might be the most hated guy in America.
I know, but it was a mistake. Like,
well, he's not Donald Trump, so I guess he's good.
It was a mistake. Like, you know,
I know.
Humans make mistakes. He probably feels really bad about it, and, you know...
Yeah. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve grace. I mean, obviously, like, people make mistakes. It just sucks to be him at this moment in time.
Well, I mean, I'm not a Hawaiian.
Hawaiian?
A Hawaiian.
Yes.
But if I was, I think I would be likely to say, like, it was an honest mistake and it's all good, and maybe we just need to redesign how the system works. I don't know.
Well, if nothing else, it alerted people and it got people thinking about, you know, in the event of a real attack, like, what could they have done differently? I'm sure people are probably solidifying their emergency action plans right now. Mm-hmm. So, fun fact. The state fish of Hawaii is the humu humu nuku nuku apua.
Did you just want to say that?
I did, but do you know how to spell it?
Do you know what the state fish of New Mexico is? You live here.
The state fish?
The state fish.
It's probably like fish tacos or something.
It's a dead fish on a tortilla, yes.
I knew it. No, I really don't know what the state fish is. Do you?
I do.
Do you, though?
I do, and I needed to Google
This
it.
is the most boring conversation ever. Let's talk about the state fish of New Mexico.
You brought it up.
I know, but Hawaii, it just sounds so much cooler.
Yeah.
New Mexico just sounds sad.
What's the state fish of Oregon? Do you know?
Probably the salmon, the Chinook salmon.
Probably.
I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll let you know.
New Mexico
To be
is a trout, and I feel really terrible. It's either the cutthroat trout or the rainbow trout, and I want to go with rainbow trout. So.
The Chinook salmon, yes.
Okay. What's the one for...
And they are delicious.
What's the state fish for New Mexico? I'm going to say rainbow trout.
Rainbow trout. Mm-hmm. The ones they breed in ponds?
No, they're here naturally. And they do breed them. They do, there's fish hatcheries and stuff.
Cutthroat trout.
Cutthroat trout, okay.
Well, we are a bunch of homies over here, so it would make sense.
Jeez.
Our fish want to cut you.
Yeah.
Lorenzo is not amused by my dumb jokes. By my New Mexico jokes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you, eh?
Yep.
He's totally trying to move on, and he just like...
No, I don't really care one way or the other.
Okay.
This podcast has gone down the drain.
I'm laughing at my own jokes.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good.
We have nothing to talk about. We have no script, no notes. We're just kind of talking. And it's working
Shooting
lovely.
the breeze.
It's working lovely.
Yeah.
So, how about clouds? Let's talk about clouds.
No, let's not do that. No, you know what's funny is I have this drawing that our 5-year-old did on the fridge, and I love it. Mm-hmm. And every time I look at it, it cracks me up.
Oh,
So,
it's non-living?
yeah, he has living and non-living things. I think I actually posted it on the Instagram too. But under non-living, he put a piece of pizza. And I'm like, I like where your head's at.
Uh-huh.
Like every time I look at it, I'm like, well, it's not false.
Came from things that were alive at one time, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's not living.
Yeah, it's non-living. So I don't know. It's just kind of funny because it just makes me giggle like a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So.
how about those sports?
Oh, please don't do this to me now.
How about them sports?
I don't think so.
Update on my book. I'm almost done with it. I have 2 chapters left.
Congratulations.
Yeah, the library will be happy to get their book that I've had in my possession for 2 months. Takes me forever.
Yeah.
And I've come to the conclusion it's not so much I'm a slow reader. I just, read in bursts, I guess.
That makes sense. Oh,
And I might be a slow reader too.
Okay. So, I asked you a question the other day, and I didn't really get an answer from you.
What?
If you could tell your 16-year-old self something, what would it be?
It would be to work on my reading.
Okay.
It would be to...
It's over.
Okay.
Can we have it now?
No.
Because one movie is good for now. We will be with you in just a second, sir. Okay?
This is our couch time, so that means you guys got to be in there.
Go to Explorers.
You guys got to go in there for now.
I don't know. Maybe if you guys are really good.
It's done.
Okay.
Okay.
We heard.
Go play Legos for just a little bit.
There's no Legos in there.
Or build
Just-
something else.
Can I eat my snack,
No, just go.
please?
Yes, bring one to Connor and to Riley.
My mom said we can eat our snack.
Luke, if you're listening to this, I want to tell you something. Your 5-year-old self is always hungry
Yeah.
because you're growing a lot and you're always hungry.
All right, grab a snack and go take it in there. Share with the other children.
I need to go.
Yeah, he's learned how to make peanut butter sandwiches by himself.
Yes.
And so that's been like the thing. He's been eating peanut butter sandwiches like nobody's business.
And on weekends, they're usually up before us. And Riley's getting into all sorts of shenanigans.
Oh, this morning I found him on the counter.
Yeah, he's
He-
learned how to drag a chair to the counter and
Exactly
climb
what
up.
he did. Yep, that's exactly what he did. And I was like, that sounds like the cabinets being opened
Yep.
from the top of the counter. So
Yep.
I had to sabotage that one.
Yeah. So 16-year-old self, I would tell myself to pay closer attention to. Well, maybe we should just wrap up this episode. Is it time to get ready for the day?
It might be. Let's take a parenting pause.
We've been recording for some time now. We can just end
Well,
it.
and here we go, disagreeing about life again.
You should hear us off recording.
Oh my gosh, it's like murder and mayhem.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop talking. You're so insulting. You're offensive. Not
Well,
really.
they left. We can continue.
Oh, they left. Jeez.
So, 16-year-old self. I went to Moriarty High School, and I didn't really care about anything except for band, skateboarding, and MXPX. I mean, what else can a 16-year-old care about, I guess? I mean, I had crushes on girls that I would never talk to. I kind of just watched them from afar.
That's a little bit stalker-esque.
I was probably a stalker, I guess. And I wasn't a stalker. I didn't, like, go to their house.
You didn't like peek in their windows and like
No.
doorbell bitch them?
Mom, I can't open it.
Sure,
Yes,
I
you can open it.
can. I'm opening some goldfish right now. They're the multicolored ones. Goldfish have evolved. They have cookies and cream goldfish too. There you go.
You say thank you? Okay, go take it in there now.
Thanks, dude.
I just was... I was very, very much... what's the word? Petrified, or not petrified, but like crippling. I had crippling
Shy?
shyness. I had my close friends, Chris Darley, Daniel Coppinger, two best homies.
Do you pour a little liquor on the ground when you think about them?
No, because they're still living. But yeah, all three of us were kind of in the same boat. Although Chris was more popular than I was, because in, I don't know if it was like 10th grade or 11th grade, he shaved his head and he had a mohawk, so that brought him a lot of attention. He ended up getting a girlfriend who was a punk rock girlfriend.
Well, I mean, if you have a mohawk,
Yeah.
that's the natural next step.
And Chris and Daniel are both my best friends, but like
I can't even picture Chris with a mohawk because I know him now, and I'm like,
he's a country boy now.
yeah.
Yeah, but he
Can't even picture that.
he was into Green Day and MXPX, and it's funny because in high school I was too cool for Blink-182. I didn't think they were punk rock enough, but I was listening to MXPX, so whatever. And they were like
No Dude Ranch for you.
they were like a guilty pleasure to me. Like I would kind of like put them on when nobody was watching, and I would listen to Blink-182 and I would enjoy it. So
I used to run around my block listening to Blink-182, like
Yeah.
trying to exercise and stuff.
but I hated Korn. I thought Korn was the worst.
Oh, I used to love Korn.
I hated Korn. I hated all of the like the new metal stuff. I kind of liked Limp Bizkit a little, not Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, but I hated Limp Bizkit.
Oh, I liked Limp Bizkit.
I hated Korn. I hated Mudvayne and
Never listened to
Mushroom Head and
I don't even know what that is.
Slipknot and System of a Down and
Yeah.
all those like Korn and Limp Bizkit, all those bands I thought were just disgusting.
Slipknot was redonkulous. I don't understand that to
Yeah.
this day, but
Nope, not a fan. But I was.
ICP, bro.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
Definitely.
I'm just kidding. I can't even. Ugh, gross.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I pissed off Juggalos with Joe?
Maybe.
So me and my friend Joe. So I'll go back to high school in a second. But me and my friend Joe were downtown. We were at bars, whatever. So we were doing the responsible thing and taking a cab back home. And me feeling a little bit loose, as we were in the cab, there was a ICP concert that was happening the next day. But the Juggalos are so hardcore that they were standing in line 24 hours before the show would even start. So I rolled down
Hoping for what?
Huh?
To freeze to death? Like, what were they?
It was like the summertime, so it wasn't like cold or anything.
Okay.
And our cab driver, so imagine our cab driver, he was short. I pictured him sitting on a stack of phone books because he was short. He had long, wispy white hair, a long, wispy beard. He reminded me of like some sort of like,
Magical Santa Claus?
yeah, sort of, but like a little, like a short one. Like he was like our elf Santa driver. And he was just very whimsical, like, I don't know, it was an interesting
Did he
guy.
offer you magic beans?
No, but he probably could have. And we were just driving, and I saw the ICP Juggalos out there, and I was like, I rolled down the window, and I was just like, ICP sucks! And I'm not even joking, like half a second later, I got a piece of pizza in the face. Like somehow, from the side of the road, they were able to throw a piece of pizza at my face and a shoe.
What kind of idiot waste a piece of pizza
They
that way.
they will defend ICP to the death.
Well, I would defend pizza because that's a bad move, guys.
And that's not it.
Sharing with Julia.
Okay, go.
Don't worry, we'll handle it, dude.
And then they
I'm not.
okay, what's up?
Connor's being rude to me. I'm not.
Go, guys. Do not be rude.
Luke, come on, let's play with Legos.
No, there's no Legos.
Wow.
Parenting. They proceeded to run after the cab, and the cab driver started to do donuts right in front of the Century 14 movie theater on First and Central to try to lose these guys because they were fast enough to keep up with the cab. And it was crazy.
That sounds like a horrible situation.
So yeah, 16-year-old self.
Legos.
No, guys, go.
Why?
16-year-old self. I would probably say to, pay closer attention to school. Start to think about what sort of career that you would have because 10 years later there would be a major recession and you would be looking for work. I would start thinking about colleges and not just UNM. I would tell myself to be open to. Are you rolling your eyes?
No.
Oh, I would tell myself to be open to going to college in a different state, and also be open to going to college, possibly New Mexico State, right? Because when I graduated from high school, I was accepted to New Mexico State and Eastern and all the local, universities, but I was not accepted to UNM because I didn't have enough foreign language credits. But I had my heart set on UNM, like I was a Lobo, I was going to go to UNM. But if I would have, I thought to myself later on, like if I would have gone to New Mexico State, I would have been more focused. I wouldn't have had the crazy,
Party times.
You
might have, just in a different context.
Yeah. Age 20, 21, I kind of went a little bit crazy and self-destructive, and I failed college courses that I'm still paying for to this day. So I would just tell myself just to be more responsible.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting. The things you think at 16 are like life-altering really don't matter at all.
I don't think anything was life-altering for me as 16. I don't think anything was important.
Yeah.
Like the only things that were important was these crushes that I had that I would never talk to them about, and just kind of hanging out with friends, I guess. I don't know. Skating.
Yeah. Hindsight is a valuable thing.
Yeah.
It's funny.
You?
I don't know. My parents moved me to New Mexico when I was 16. Kind of dropped a bomb.
Going to the restroom.
Awesome. And so that was pretty damning to me. I thought my life was over, I cried on the plane the entire time flying here, the whole time.
Was it because you're moving to New Mexico, or was it because you were leaving your friends?
Not because I was leaving my friends. I didn't know anything about New Mexico. I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea. No, I cried and cried and cried. I didn't talk to my mom for a month. No joke, didn't talk to her for a month. I was so mad and so angry, and the people that I had grown up with, I had grown up with them since first grade up until high school, so I had a pretty, solid group of friends, and I had grown up with these kids all of my life to that point. So that to me was devastating, that we are moving to New Mexico. I don't know anybody. I remember thinking what am I going to do? I left my boyfriend. I left, I don't know. It was just hard. But the thing is, I really think it made me a better person. I can say that now. I think if you would have asked me then, I would have given you the finger probably. But I'm actually really grateful that my parents moved me now. Mm-hmm. Because I've gotten to have a perspective that not a lot of people that I grew up with have gotten to have. And the world is way bigger than where I grew up. And I'm not going to, I don't know. Where I grew up is a very limited perspective kind of environment. So I don't know. I'm grateful that I got to move here and see something different. And I think it's taken me a long time to realize that and be okay with it. But yeah, so I would just tell my 16-year-old self, this might seem like the end of the world right now, but it really does not matter. And you're actually going to be a better person because of this, even though you might not feel that way right now. So yeah, and I wouldn't have met you. So.
Aw. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here we are,
Here we
mid-30s, 3 kids.
Yeah.
You know, it always blows my mind that I'm in my 30s, married, and 3 kids. Like that's just crazy to me.
Do you realize that somebody asked me the other day how old I think it was one of our friends, we were having a game night, and they were like, how old are you again? And I was like 27, and then I was like, wait, what? Like, it just like came out of my mouth, and I was like, I'm not 27.
Yep.
I don't know why I said that. It was just like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I mean 34.
Yep. And the past 5 years since we've had kids, I feel like every day is super fast. Right? I don't know. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It might be time for us to.
I think we should probably wrap it up. There's some conflict going on with the nephew and the son.
Yeah.
You know, it's Martin Luther King Day, which means no school, which means we have extra kids at our house.
Which means no school for me, but it also means no school for kids.
Which
so,
means they're really antsy.
Yeah.
And it's nap time for this 1-year-old.
Yep. But all right. Well, that was a
Random episode.
random episode, but oops,
No.
wrong song.
Wow.
This is
We are really on the ball today. I need a shower. I feel kind of homeless right now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get ready for our day and take care of kids.
Okie doke.
All right, guys. Have a good week.